Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Enemy here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia, Chapter 274. So, yeah, one of the major things to talk about in this chapter is how if I understand the circumstances correctly, it seems that the more control that Shigaraki gains over All for One and over One, the more his cognitive telepathic connection to the wielder of One for All is going to grow, is growing, and is continuously growing. In this case, the wielder of One for All is Izuku. And as we see, it's funny. Just in that moment, I'm finally realizing that the connection of one, that this cognitive telepathic connection of One for All and All for One is very much kind of akin to that whole that whole force connection. I think that was going on in the original trilogy between Vader, Obi-Wan, and Luke and whatnot. So yeah, it's funny how I finally realized that. Um, and but anyway, it's growing, and we see that basically through this, it's already made keeping the secret of All for One and One for All that extra bit harder than it already was. And no matter what, like, people are going to learn the truth about Izuku and All Might after this. The two, like, it's basically, it's unavoidable. It's going to happen. There's no way that they can keep that this can be kept secret from, like, anyone. That this can be kept as much of a secret. Like, I don't know if everyone's gonna know, but more people are definitely going to know. And after this, especially after this, I'd say the most likely candidates now being Endeavor, Todoroki, Ochako, and Ida. I think those are going to be the four people next who are probably going to learn the pretty much truth about Izuku's quirk. And as because yeah, like, really, after this, after this whole thing, there's no escaping the reality that Izuku is gonna have to tell someone else's secret. It's just not possible in order to keep it between Izuku, All Might, and 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 uh and Bakugo. Like, it more people are going to want to know, and especially Ochiko. Like, if you just looking at that one panel of Ochiko, like, just kind of looking on, you can tell she knows something's up. So, like, one way or another, Ochiko is going to confront Izuku after this. Like, ooh, and so yeah, like, it really is a thing where no one's it's and of course that's all assuming that Shigaraki doesn't take it into his own hands to spill the beans. And when he spills the beans, he's gonna spill it to, like, pretty much everyone. So that, I think, at best, that's the worst case scenario we have to prevent. Is, like, it doesn't matter as to who ends up learning the truth next. We got to prevent the entire fucking world from knowing. But yeah. But let's but Okay, moving away from that, though, let's talk a little more about the about the, like, connection between All for One and One for All, because there's been something I've been holding off on talking about, and I feel now's the perfect time, which is during one of my rewatches of the anime, someone left a comment on that episode saying that how he sees My Hero Academia ending is of course the inevitable clash between Izuku and Shigaraki, and the conflict in itself will reach such a tipping point that the two quirks will inevitably have such a colliding effect with each other that it could potentially wipe out all quirks from existence. And while I don't think it's going to happen in this arc specifically, it was such an intriguing theory that revisiting those earlier seasons, especially season 4, did make me realize the through line of the series does support the idea that it could end with the complete eradication of quirks. And if in some ways that could be kind of considered like how like the through line of how Izuku actually ends up becoming the world's greatest hero by basically ridding all quirks. Because if you think about it, quirks, it doesn't matter as to what the as to what the ideal. It doesn't really matter very. It I guess like the ideology matters. It does, but at the center of everything that the series has built up so far, quirks are still like a part of the problem. Everything that's wrong with this world, you can kind of, and how people are judged, you can put it all on quirks themselves. So, yeah, it does kind of support this weird through line that if that Izuku, like the clash between Izuku and Shigaraki could very well like pretty much eliminate all quirks from existence. That's I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a bit of a it is kind of a little bit of a is a little bit of an iffy idea. I'm not gonna lie, but it does kind of support it as well. So, but again, it's just a theory, a very good theory, but we're just gonna have to wait and see how it goes down. I think in general. With that said, I'd say oddly enough, the weakest part of the chapter for me was also the most epic part, which is the fight from Shigaraki and Endeavor. And what makes it epic is that through like the small moments in that fight, you see Endeavor isn't taking Shigaraki lightly. Like every move Endeavor makes is done with careful precision so that he doesn't fall victim to the of Shigaraki's decay. Where on the flip side of that, Shigaraki, I don't want to say I don't want to say he's not necessarily like paying attention to the fight necessarily, but he's just kind of he has his mind so focused elsewhere in this fight that he's just completely disinterested in Endeavor right now, and he through trying to understand his power, he's like he sees Endeavor as just like an insignificant bug who he's just like testing his power on at this moment. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of an interesting how one is so focused, but the other's like, but he's like, you're just a punching bag for me, bro. It's like, yeah. So in the sense of it, so I guess so there is some stuff I can take seriously in this fight. Just there isn't a whole lot to take seriously either. And the other now with that said though, this fight kind of has me a little worried because I'm like just in the setup alone, there's a lot there's just with this fight alone, there's a lot about it that screams to me that that Endeavor is going to die in this battle against Shigaraki, and that like Horikoshi's going to kill him. And I hope it's something, it's weird to say, but I hope it's something he doesn't do, at least not yet, because it feels like there's still, it's weird to say, because even though we've gotten a lot of development for the character of Endeavor, and a lot of character development for Permission Endeavor up to this point, it still feels like there could be more. Not a whole lot, but still like there could be a lot more to his character development. And so I'm hoping he doesn't get killed simply because I feel that there is more that can be used for his character going forward. So yeah, I don't know. Like I hope that's not hope again. I hope he doesn't get killed in this fight, but who knows? And again, even though I do think it's going to happen, I like how Horikoshi once again kind of exposes the trope of what happens when the main protagonist has this power that basically causes the antagonist to target him, because and yet at the same time through basically that whole thing of it being presented through basically Bakugo, it's one of those things where where Bakugo isn't wrong either. If the whole world knew, then Yeah, there'd be a giant target on Izuku's back, and Izuku himself, like, he wouldn't even be allowed to leave his own room. He'd be completely confined to either like UA or God forbid his his own house. Like, I don't think it would be his own house because obviously his mother's there. But yeah, like he would be like just the fact that his mother is like he has a lot he needs to protect, and he just has to make sure that the entire world just doesn't know about it, that power right now. um, and like it's one of those things where even if others figure out what's going on, they have like it's very much a situation where this chapter it really exposes that even if others figure it out and he divulges his secret to other people, he has to keep Izuku has to keep who actually knows into a very small group as possible to between the people who are allowed, like in terms of like again people who are allowed to know, because the urgency of keeping it as much of a secret is becoming more and more understandable in the heat of this moment, honestly. So it's like it's kind of insane. But yeah, guys. With that said, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe on my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all. Dead Knight, signing off. Later, guys.